Hello again. Let's get into The Instant Farmer, chapter number 7. The two lovebirds slept in different beds last night. They were together romantically. This morning, they are up early. It is almost time to say goodbye. They are both out of bed and are not wearing very much. They move toward each other and share a loving hug. That will be their greatest amount of affection. A morning hug sounds great. Ken needs to go home so he can change into his work clothes. Sarah has the same situation. They understand that they must go to work today. They exchange phone numbers and they exchange kisses. Getting dressed does not take very long. Now that both of them are ready to go home, Ken tells Sarah how incredible she was last night. Out of the hotel room, they start to hold hands on their walk to the elevator. Sarah leans in for a kiss. They had such a great time last night. The elevator brings them to the ground floor. They walk through the lobby and stop at the front desk. Ken needs to officially check out of the hotel. He hands over the room key and quietly pays the bill with his credit card. The two lovebirds are holding hands outside of the hotel. They really like each other. They don't live very far from each other. It is just a couple blocks away, so they decide to share a cab ride home. Sarah makes the joke of Ken cleaning up his apartment so she can visit tonight. Ken likes that idea. Ken likes Sarah. The cab stops in front of Ken's building. He kisses her goodbye and exits the vehicle. The cab drives away. Cleaning up his apartment will be very tricky. Reality is starting to set in for Ken. He has such a tremendous responsibility with those seeds. What is he going to do with all those oranges? Ken opens the door of his apartment. He is welcomed by the aroma of oranges. That is all he can smell. He needs some time to think about the next step. Right now, he needs to change his clothes. His office does have a dress code, so he goes into his closet and picks out the appropriate articles of clothing, puts them on, and is very happy with his choice. It is just about time to leave. He wants to take a few minutes to brush his teeth and brush his hair as well. He is not going to shave this morning. Ken does not pack a lunch before he leaves his apartment. He does not eat breakfast either. He just leaves. Wow, last night was incredible. She was so pretty. Ken plans on calling her in the middle of the day. Maybe they can get together for dinner tonight. He has a lot to think about as he walks to work. The walk is therapeutic. It is giving Ken some time to assess his situation. Ken finds his seat at his desk. He is early for work. He usually is early for work. He feels some of his workmates might become suspicious as the day goes by. His secret will be kept. He does not want anybody to notice him today. He has such a story about last night. That story will have to be kept to himself. He will only tell Greg about Sarah. The workday begins. Ken's boss has just arrived. She says hello as she passes his desk. She knows how huge this project is going to be for the company. She also knows that the project has just started, and Ken is the perfect person to be in charge. Ken stands up and walks towards the water cooler. He is thirsty. He fills his coffee mug full of water. Ken looks around as he takes a big sip. He wants to notice if anybody is watching him. That is the thing with keeping secrets. You are always assuming that somebody knows you are hiding something. Let the paranoia begin. Assured that he is not being watched, Ken makes his way over to his boss's office. He wants to ask a question about the project. 30 stories is a tall building. It will be one of the largest buildings in the city. This project is going to be huge. The boss says, "Hello, Ken. What are you drinking?" Ken says, "I filled my mug with water." The boss says, "Sounds good. Did you have a good day off yesterday?" Ken says, "Yes, it was very nice." The boss says, "Good. I am glad that you are in charge of the project." Ken says, "About the project, I asked a friend about balconies and terraces. He was telling me that the customer would prefer a terrace." The boss says, "Building a unit with a terrace would put us over budget. I understand that the customer wants it, but it is not in our budget." Ken says, "Okay, thanks for clearing that up. I really appreciate the opportunity that you were giving me." The boss says, "Read the specifications and understand that the builder wants to keep costs down. You are ready for this." That concludes this chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening. Again, if you want to read along with me, then you should pick up a copy of my ebook from Kindle. Goodbye until the next chapter.